Hello, travelers, and welcome to the Horror Greenbook, the trial that takes you from coast to coast and con to con. I am your travel guide, Brendan, and today we are hanging out in the scary sanctuary, and we are doing, something a bit different. We are going to do what I call the horror hangout. So I figured that, I had a bit of extra free time today and that I would just hang out with the travelers and see what was going on, talk a little bit about some upcoming horror, and, just hang out with everyone that's not doing anything right now. I figured it would be a great time to just hang out and talk about some upcoming horror stuff. I pulled up a few sites such as Fangoria, also Bloody Disgusting. So, we're just going to talk about what's going on. We'll possibly wait for a few people to join in, but I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm just really just kicking it here. Decided that I would hang out a bit. Oh, got to turn on my scary lights there, so that's a little bit better. But what's everyone up to tonight? Feel free to comment in the chat. Feel free to smash that like button. We're gonna get into some of the really cool stuff here tonight. Let's see here. Let me readjust some settings here. But yeah, I'm just kicking it, guys. I'm going over a few things. Earlier today, I watched Nosferatu in preparation for the Robert Eggers film that will be premiering on Christmas Day. I just found out that AMC will be showing extra special premieres on Christmas Eve. So I may actually do that for one of the late night showings. It's going to be pretty cool. Also, I watched Shadow of the Vampire, which is the film that is about the making of Nosferatu. And it goes based on the theory that what if Max Schreck was really a vampire? So it's a pretty fun watch. It's definitely filled with a bit of dark comedy. So if you're someone that is a fan of making films and the art of making films, I highly recommend it. It's very cool that also you get Willem Dafoe in that film, and that he will be in the upcoming Nosferatu film. So that's one of those things that just comes full circle. Guys, I am extra geeked to see the Nosferatu film, along with the other things that we have coming up in 2025. We have a lot of interesting films. There was a list that I was looking at earlier on Facebook in regards to upcoming horror films, and that was pretty fun list in regards to things that were coming up. I'll try to see if I can actually find that because it was pretty cool. Let me see, 2025 horror movies. But yeah, there's so much stuff that's coming out. Like for instance, we have Wolfman coming out. That's going to be cool. We have 28 years later. That's going to be very, very highly anticipated. That's probably one of my most anticipated films for this particular 2025 season. Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Hopefully you're having a good night tonight. Just wanted to do a special, live stream. So I'm glad that you're in here with me, hanging out. What's going on, man? Have you watched any good horror lately? I mean, it doesn't have to be current, but anything past or present that you've really enjoyed. We have also cool films such as we have The Bride that will be coming out. Then we also have a Frankenstein film. So that's great that that's going to be connected. The Monkey, which is really cool because Oz Perkins, coming off of Long Legs, that is absolutely very sick to see, more of his success. We got Megan 2.0. We have, oh my gosh, let's see, what else is coming out? Of course, we have The Strangers Chapter 2. I'm a bit, torn on The Strangers Chapter 2 myself, Anthony. The Return of the Living Dead, I don't know, man. I'm with you on that. I'll just put it this way. I'm not really excited for it, But I will say that it's good that they are breathing new life into the actual franchise, being that it's been dead for 20 years. Um, can anything be worse than Rave to the Grave? I hope not. I don't ever want anything worse than Rave to the Grave or Necropolis. But I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with that. But I did hear that Linnea Quigley is actually trying to come out with a fan film um, in regards to I think it was called like Trash's Revenge. So I'm interested in seeing that probably a bit more than the new Return of the Living Dead one. There's a bit of drama going on with that. So I'm hoping for the best. I'll just put it that way. But I don't have the highest of hopes in regards to it being a good one. We got the Michael B. Jordan film Sinners. That one looks like an absolutely excellent one. I can't wait to see that one. So there are a few other ones that have me excited for 2025. I mean, horror just keeps getting bigger and better. So I'm hoping that that's going to be something that comes along with it. Also, we got the Black Phone 2. That should be awesome. And then we also have more of the public domain horror, I would like to call it. So we're going to get Screamboat, which is, of course, the Steamboat Willie one. Of course, we had the one last year. Gosh, what's that one called? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that one. I didn't get it. Oh, Mousetrap. That's what it was called. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that one, so I'm not necessarily the most excited for that one either. But hey, I'm just glad for more horror. And also, there's going to be the Bambi one, Bambi the Reckoning. So, yeah, man, horror just keeps finding ways to keep pumping out some interesting stuff. So, I'm interested in that. We also have this cool, let's see, article on Fangoria. Let me do a quick transition in regards to that, guys, to show you guys. But it was remembering Tony Todd, the legacy of Candyman in his own words. So that was very, very nice to see that they did that. And it's done by Tanavari Du, who is awesome. She actually has like a college class that is in regards to black horror. So that was really cool. She has also some very, very cool books as well. So it's very cool that she did a very cool eulogy in regards to Tony Todd. Very, very nice, guys. So I'll make sure to check that out as well. We're going to go through a few articles and just talk about horror and what, is catching our eyes. So, Anthony, are you excited for any upcoming 2025 horror? I know I am, definitely. Let's see. All right, there's a cool article. 5 bleak holiday horror movies to stream this week. And they actually had a one on Fangoria. Let's see about holiday horror. So let's see how right they are with some of these films. I think that would be an interesting list to go through. So let's go through some of these items here. 10 underrated horror movies to watch over the holidays. So let's see what they have here. That's one great thing about horror, especially in regards to holidays. You can always have something very, very cool to, bring to the genre. I did see the Advent calendar. I saw that on Shudder. It wasn't that bad. I really enjoyed the premise of it. It was very, very unique. And in regards to the French, they definitely know how to make a pretty gory film for sure. It's probably not my top choice for a holiday film, especially one coming out of France. I'm hoping My favorite one will be listed a bit later down the line. Let's see, we have Hosts. I have not seen that one, so that is definitely one that should be on the list. Um, Await further instructions. That is one that I have heard about, but I have not had the pleasure of seeing. I have read the premise, and it does look like something that would be like a very interesting watch, especially since it has to do with a family getting together. Let's see, Carnage for Christmas. Okay, that looks like another interesting one. I like the title, so I'm gonna actually have to write down some of these. Oh, there's the one right here. This is my absolute favorite French horror film, Inside. I like to shock my friends with getting them a very surprising watch because they're not expecting what goes on in this film. And if you're seeking something very gory, but something very much still within the season, the reason for the season, as they should say, what is more Christmas than a pregnant woman on Christmas Eve that has her baby in danger? So highly recommend, and it's actually on like Tubi, I believe. I think that's a film that we're gonna watch on Christmas on this channel. So guys, if you're free on Christmas afternoon, possibly you're not too busy with family, or you are possibly tired of family at that point, definitely stick around to the channel because that is going to be something that I check out and watch on this channel as well. It's one of my favorite Christmas traditions. Next we have The Leech. That seems pretty cool. Yeah, Anthony. If you're not doing anything next week, definitely come out and watch it with us on the channel. It's definitely a doozy. I highly recommend it. And also, you said, to be honest, I'm still stuck in the 80s, 90s horror flicks. You definitely know more about what's coming out. I'm hopeful for a decent movie when I check out the new stuff. Yeah, there are definitely some really good recent things that have definitely come out over the last couple of years. Of course, there's plenty of stuff to wade through that's not enjoyable. But when you do find those gems, it definitely makes it all worthwhile. But 2025 has a lot of good stuff for sure. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Anthony. I'm going to make sure to put up a notification as soon as I figure out what would be possibly a good time. I'm thinking sometime in the afternoon will probably be best. And also, I will be doing a Christmas Eve one in the evening. We're going to choose between Christmas Evil, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and Black Christmas. Of course, how could you forget about Black Christmas? So that is going to be the choices to choose from. So guys, if you haven't checked it out, go to the community tab on my page, and you will be able to vote for which film you'll want to see on Christmas Eve. Hey, thanks again, Anthony. I appreciate your support, buddy. Um, See, yeah, definitely. After this, it says after Inside, you'll probably need a little bit of comic relief. Yeah, yeah, because it is not a particularly cheery film. So if you want some Christmas cheer, definitely don't watch Inside. But it's good to know that The Leech has a little bit more of a comedic take in regards to it. Dead End. I see Lin Shay here, so I haven't seen it, but I see Lin Shay, and I have to watch it. So I would definitely want to see that for sure. You have Frank Harrington, who's played by Ray Wise, and his wife Laura, son Richard, daughter Marion, and her boyfriend Brad, driving on Christmas Eve to spend the holidays with Frank's mother-in-law. During their travels, they spot a mysterious woman holding a baby at the side of the road, and they offer a ride to their cabin. As she disappears, bodies start piling up, and the Harrington family are plunged into a living nightmare. That sounds pretty dope, guys. Okay. Looks like Fangoria definitely put up a good amount of lists here. So I'm going to make sure to write some of these down and watch them over the upcoming week. I've heard really good things about I Trapped the Devil. So that's one that I probably will try to watch tonight. Plus, it just seems like an awesome premise as well. I mean, a guy, says that he has trapped the devil in a padlocked room. I mean, hey, you just got to see what's going on with that. And Deadly Games. I highly recommend this one, guys, because I don't care what anyone says. This film absolutely had to inspire Home Alone. Um, I mean, if Home Alone was a horror film, you would definitely get Deadly Games. I mean, you have an awesome house, which is basically like a castle in this film. It is a French film as well, so the French definitely bring it when it comes to horror and in regards to holiday horror for real. So it's a good one for real. I definitely highly recommend that, guys. So make sure to check out some of those. But yeah, I'm definitely digging it. Yes, hey man, I appreciate the love, Anthony. Man, I mean, I'm always here for the mutants. Us mutants got to look out for each other. Speaking of being a mutant, did you watch the latest Joe Bob special? That was actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed that last one. It was a good lineup of films. Mainly because I had never seen Rare Exports, and it was very very good watch. I enjoyed it for sure. The next one was let's see, It's a Wonderful Knife, and I did see that one last year at the Telluride Horror Film Festival, and I really enjoyed it. It was surprisingly as wholesome as it is gory. So if you like a film that straddles that line of being, that good horror film that has a good amount of kills, but also, really feels like a Christmas movie. Like it is that perfect mismatch of a Hallmark movie and a horror film, if it makes any sense. So I definitely recommend it for those who have not seen It's a Wonderful Knife. But yeah, man, hope everyone's doing good. I'm just hanging out here, really excited for some upcoming horror, especially with Nosferatu. I've been having that one on my list. Well, ever since I started to see some of the promo with it, they would have like they had like pictures for it first. They just released some promo pictures, and they didn't really show much of Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok. But the fact that they did that was very tastefully done. It was very artsy, but they didn't reveal too much. For those of us that we want to actually enjoy the movie when we go see it, and we don't want it spoiled for us. So that's definitely dope. And then when we got to the trailer, it's very stylistically done. If those of you who have seen Nosferatu, the 1920s version, or the Werner Herzog version that came out in the 70s, you would definitely get some callbacks to those films, which are definitely very, very much, appreciated for sure for a horror fan that really enjoys those films. So Anthony said, I did. I kind of got busy, so I missed some of Rare Exports. I dug the second movie. I don't know Justin Long, but I hit him up that night trying to get Tusk on JPB. Yeah. Yeah, Tusk would be a very fun watch. That's one of the things that I really enjoyed about seeing It's a Wonderful Knife, because I didn't know too much about the film except for that it was a horror twist on It's a Wonderful Life, and that Justin Long was going to be in it. And going with Justin Long's track record of being horrifically mutilated in horror films, I was looking forward to that happening. So I'm not going to spoil what possibly happens or doesn't happen to Justin in this movie, but let's just say I'm glad whenever Justin Long appears in a horror film. Even going all the way back to Jeepers Creepers. He's awesome in Tusk. He was awesome in Barbarian. I mean, Justin is one of those guys that, whenever you see him, he's going to have a great time in a horror film. And that's what, you love about seeing cast members and certain actors and actresses in films, because you know that if they're going to appear, they're going to do the damn thing. It's pretty much like certain people like Samara Weaving, Melissa Barrera. I'm looking forward to seeing Your Monster. I hear it's a pretty interesting twist on the Beauty and the Beast fairy tale, so that should be pretty fun. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you're here, man. I'm just kicking it, really Didn't really have too much of a plan, so it's just mainly just hanging out. So feel free to talk about any particular subjects that you have in mind. But let's see here. I'm going to this bloody disgusting. Let's see here. This bloody disgusting article in regards to 5 bleak holiday horror movies to stream this week. So this seems like another interesting article brought to us by the great people at Bloody Disgusting. A Christmas Tale. That is a pretty fun one. I saw that one, I believe only one time. I don't really remember much of it. So that should be something that would be a good one, especially since it's on Tubi. So I think I would do something like that. Second mentioned of I Trap the Devil. So I'm going to take that as a sign that maybe I should go ahead and see that. Anthony says, I love in Tusk when he's like, where are my legs? Spider bite, huh? Yeah, Justice is so awesome in these movies, for real. All right, we have another mention of Inside. So there you have it, guys. This is my absolute favorite Christmas horror film. It completely like blew my mind when I saw it. Man, and if any of this blood is an indication, guys, it definitely shows you how things get in this film. So and he even mentioned the excess of bloodshed. So it's a dope watch. The Lodge. I have not seen The Lodge. Okay. And then Silent Night. I have not seen Silent Night. I've heard about this particular one. So I don't know. Maybe I'll eventually bite the bullet on that one. But we shall see in regards to Silent Night. But definitely will be trying to see Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 sometime this this holiday season. That's if it doesn't win the poll, and I should know. I'll call the poll off probably on Sunday. Hey, JZS2120, you go on the Cult Classic Convention in March. It is in my plans to go to Cult Classic Convention in March. So if you see me there, definitely make sure to say what's up. I plan to be there the entire weekend. So it's a fun time. I went to Cult Classic not this year but last year, and it was a very, very fun con. So I'm very sad that I missed it this year. So I cannot repeat that for 2025. It's definitely one of my very underrated conventions. So they really grab out some of the best con guests for sure, especially if you're someone that is into cult classics, as its namesake says. We get a little bit of exploitation representation there. And if you're into like those more schlocky type films, you are definitely in for a treat with Cult Classic Con. A Tom Savini directed Christmas movie would be pretty awesome. I know there would be some pretty very fun effects there. I definitely think Tom Savini should get the opportunity to direct another film. I know his experience with making the Night of the Living Dead remake definitely sullied his experience in doing that. I would really have loved to have seen what that film would have turned out like without studio interference. Yes, you're right, Anthony. The drive-in will never die. Oh, so Joe Bob and Darcy are going to be there? Cool. Well, in that case, I definitely plan to be there. In that case, well, I think I remember, were they supposed to be at a cult classic con, but ended up canceling. So this may be the one that they're making up for. So okay, cool. I would definitely enjoy seeing Joe Bob and Darcy. I'm supposed to see Darcy at a convention in March in Pittsburgh, or near Pittsburgh, that I was planning on going to. And when I go there, definitely have to go to the Monroeville Mall to see the actual, Dawn of the Dead Mall and other, George A. Romero related, landmarks. So I'm definitely excited to have my first ever experience in Pittsburgh, for sure. But yeah, that's very exciting to know that Joe Bob and Darcy will be there. Thanks so much for reminding me. Um, like any excuse to see Joe Bob and Darcy while they're nearby is pretty awesome. I know one of the ladies that works for them. She just moved out to Dallas, and I should reach out to her. I believe I still have some of her contact information. But it's cool going to a lot of these events and then meeting people. Okay, I'll let Darcy know for sure, Anthony. I'm sure she'll remember. Darcy, one thing that I really give up to Joe Bob and Darcy is that they really do have amazing memories. How they are able to remember people at conventions and at meetups and things of that nature is beyond me. Oh yeah, the Living Dead weekend in at the Monroeville Mall near Pittsburgh. It's definitely high on my list too. I believe that will be in maybe June, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's on my list to go to too. So I'm likely going to have at least two reasons for me to go to Pittsburgh this year. Um, Eventually, I want to go to a Steel City Con as well because they're great because they definitely have a great amount of horror guests that go there. Even though it's not a horror movie convention, their representation of horror guests is absolutely fantastic. I remember years that they've gotten like um, a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 cast. They have a pretty epic. They have a panel, a Nightmare on Elm Street panel, and it's very awesome, except for the fact that I believe Monica Keena was a little bit under the influence. I'm not going to say of what, but it's pretty sad whenever you see Monica Keena now, especially in contrast to that film. I think she looked absolutely so smoking hot, and she was an amazing, final girl in that film. And to see, where she kind of is now physically, it's very sad for sure. But yeah, they do care. They really really do care. But yeah, guys, it's definitely great the fact that we had a pretty good 2024 in horror. I'm looking forward to a great 2025. Do any of you have a favorite horror film of 2024 that you saw? Some ones that were pretty high on my list would be The Substance. I also enjoyed Maxine. That was a pretty good one. Cuckoo. Cuckoo was awesome. Other ones that come to mind, Long Legs, of course. That was a pretty good one. There were also pretty good ones. Yeah. That panel is pretty infamous amongst horror fans and Nightmare on Elm Street fans for sure. I really do hope the best for her. I saw her at a convention back in August, I believe. It was the Houston Horror Film Festival, and she was there. And she's with a lot of these actresses, you kind of notice how petite a lot of them are. A lot of them are really really small women. There's very few Gina Davises that are like more. When you see them, they're just like, wow, you're a more taller woman than I expected, or a Sigourney Weaver. But Monica was very very skinny. And it's just like, wow, man, I'm really hoping for the best, because with a lot of these celebrities, we never want to hear any very sad stories. Let's just put it that way. In regards to some of these stories that we hear in regards to people transitioning and things of that nature. So I'm hoping she's continuing to get the help that she deserves for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people saw that interview, guys. Anthony says, I still need to see Long Legs. You ever seen Vulgar? Watch that today on VHS. No, I've never seen Vulgar, Anthony. I'll definitely have to check that out. Would you recommend Vulgar? If you would definitely make sure to let me know. And if you do, I will put that on my list of films to check out. I'm always up for seeing things that I haven't seen before, especially if it's something that's recommended from people that are drive-in mutants or people that have a really great taste in film. If I was on a panel, I'd be Tank pumping beers. Yeah, for sure. That would totally be me. I would be that person that's like pounding beers. I'm like, hey, give me another one, or someone that's like, oh, okay, well, where's a little bit of the 420, a little bit of that. But it is what it is. There's a convention in San Antonio the same weekend as Cult Classic. I'm gonna be busy and broke that weekend. Yeah. Oh, San Antonio has so many great horror related cons. Especially like there's like 3 or 4 different promoters in San Antonio that do horror events, and I think that's pretty awesome. Because I go to the Wonderland of the Americas ones. There's another mall that has horror events there, and then there's like another promoter that does stuff. I remember like one weekend there was like 3 different horror related events going on in San Antonio, and I'm just like, wow, the people in San Antonio are having a great time. So that's great to know that San Antonio is definitely a hub in Texas for horror fans for sure. It's been a while, at least a year since I've been in San Antonio for an event. I really miss it, so I'm hoping in 2025 I'll be down there for sure. So Vulgar's awesome. It's not Christmas. It's a Kevin Smith produced film directed by his buddy from the View Askew universe. Okay, cool, cool. I'm a fan of Kevin Smith and a lot of the people from View Askew, so I'm always here for it. I always tell people like Zach and Miri, that's one of my very favorite View Askew related films for sure. And I'm a guy that grew up on like Mallrats and Clerks and things of that nature. So I'll definitely make sure to check that out for sure. So thanks a lot for the recommendation, Anthony. So like I said, guys, if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to go ahead and put that down in the chat. Also, smash that like button, guys. It's going to help the algorithm push the channel out to other horror fans that may enjoy similar content. But yeah, guys, let's see, 2024. I'm trying to think of any other films that I watched that really, really stood out to me this year. I'll have to look up a list of, let's see, 2024 horror movies. Let's see. What came up? Oh yeah, I did see, Azrael. That was good. It's on Shutter now. Speaking of Samara Weaving, that woman can do no wrong in regards to horror. So I highly recommend that one, guys. Let's see. I I did see Arcadian. That was pretty decent. That was pretty good. Nick Cage. So you're gonna get some Nick Cage fun in there. Smile 2. I did see Smile 2 and also Abigail. I enjoyed Abigail a bit more than Smile 2, but Smile 2 is an adequate sequel, I would say. The only thing I would say that I was a bit disappointed with Smile 2 was the fact that they didn't really bring any more lore to the actual film. So, it is what it is. I'm assuming that there will be a Smile 3 and maybe we'll get a bit more with that. But, oh, yeah. Yeah, JZS2120 says Terrifier 3. Yes, I did see Terrifier 3, and that one did not disappoint whatsoever. There's one thing that I could have a gripe with, but that leans more into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But let's just say I hope that that's more of a red herring, and we'll get more information in regards to that in Terrifier 4. So that is something that I look forward to seeing them continue with that. Oh, Late Night with the Devil. That was another highlight for this year for me. I really enjoyed Late Night with the Devil. I enjoyed just the premise of that one. I mean, it's someone that was born in the 80s and has those memories of, the Johnny Carson show. And then when Johnny Carson retired with the battle between Jay Leno and David Letterman. It was a whole thing. So I remember when late night shows were just all the rage. It was a big, big deal. And you're right. Also, JZS2120 says Immaculate. I did see Immaculate, and I definitely enjoyed that. Sydney Sweeney did a very good job in that film. I really need to see the Omen film. I haven't seen that one. I heard some people enjoyed the Omen film better than Immaculate. And then again, I heard some people say that they enjoyed Immaculate better than the Omen one. So, I need to actually, check that out and get an actual better, understanding of which one I would feel is the better film. Yeah, 80s. I love 80s films for sure. And that's why I enjoyed about Terrifier 3 is because it did have a little bit of that 80s feel with the films that it was inspired by. It did have a little bit of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Even though Black Christmas isn't 80s, it inspired a lot of the films in the 80s. So it was like a lot of Black Christmas references, a little bit of Christmas Evil. I like the references. So it was dope. Let's see. Also, Trap. Trap was another one that I saw. With Trap, I mean, it's typical M Night Shyamalan. It's not his worst. It's definitely not his worst. I'll say that much. But it was a pretty good watch. After a certain point, it kind of fell off the rails. But I mean, was it entertaining? That's the way I kind of always judge movies on. I don't expect every film to be Citizen Kane or The Godfather or any other critically acclaimed film. For me, as long as it's something that I'm entertained by, I'm pretty happy about it. So Trap did its job for the most part. It definitely seems like there's a bit of a sequel bait in regards to that one. So they will probably continue the story with Trap for sure. Hey, Anthony, he says, do you know a shit ton about movies? Have you been to film school or anything like that, or just a fan? I am a huge fan. I have not gone to film school. The closest that I've done anywhere clear to that was a intro to film class in high school. But that one semester class in regards to intro to film is probably one of my most favorite experiences in high school. I still remember the teacher's name in that one, Mr. Caps. He was pretty much like fresh out of like graduate school and everything, so it's like his first teaching job, and he taught us a lot about film, especially for a young film lover who thought I loved film at that point, and he taught just so much more in regards to that. That's how I learned about like Buster Keaton, and that's where I first saw Citizen Kane and other films. So that was very, very pivotal. Ah, tongue tied here, guys. In regards to my fandom, but I've always enjoyed film, particularly horror films, but all genre films for the most part. I'm a big fan of. I'm very fortunate that I grew up, as a 80s baby, 90s kid, that we grew up watching canon film stuff, Roger Corman stuff. And, when you're a kid, you don't really pay too much attention to certain things like that, but you kind of notice like, hey, whenever I see this logo for canon films, it's a film that I typically enjoy. Now, they're not the best films, but they're super fun. So, I've always had that love of film ever since I was a little kid, and I was very lucky to have a mom that worked for the Memphis Public Library system for their main library, which was like their huge one. So I could rent films from any of the Memphis public library branches for free because my mom worked there. So any type of horror film, that I wanted to see, she was all about letting me watch that, which is another thing I was lucky about because if anyone knows anything about moms in the 80s and 90s, they were pretty vigilant in regards to censorship. So, in regards to like music, movies, video games, the list goes on and on in regards to being a kid that wanted to play the cool games like Mortal Kombat or Killer Instinct, or you want to see the latest horror film, or you wanted to listen to music by Two Live Crew or NWA or certain rock music, that was getting censored, it was kind of hard. You had to actually kind of know friends that had access to that to actually, you know, be able to enjoy some of that stuff. So thankfully, my mom was very cool. The only thing she wasn't necessarily going for was any type of like sex scenes or boobs. So when it came time for that, it was just like, all right, cover your eyes. Let's not make this any more awkward. I'll catch this later on a solo watch. But the violence and everything, go figure. She could care less. And my mom is a big catalyst in my love for horror, because she just really was all about enjoying some of those films as well. Like one of these days, I'm gonna come up with a an episode in regards to like top films that I watched in my childhood with my mom, because I mean, guys, the list of films that I could tell you that I saw with my mom as like a 7, 8, 9, 10 year old, some of you would be pretty mind blown. Let's see, let me catch up in the chat here. He said, I was scared to take out school movies class. I felt like it would ruin movies for me. In the same way, playing music changes how you hear it from then on. I was wrong, though. Yeah, I get you on that, Anthony. Pretty much that's how it was for me with a college music course. It kind of killed some of my appreciation for certain music, because you have to be a little bit more analytical in certain ways, in which I wasn't really ready for. So I totally feel you on that. Yeah, man, my mom's pretty awesome in regards to that. I need to actually interview her in regards to why she allowed me to do that when so many moms were not going for that, and she was pretty awesome with that. I really thank my mom a lot in regards to that. That's why I tell guys that some of these guys that have these really outdated or sexist views in regards to women and their taste in horror, it's just like, dude, most of what I learned in regards to my taste from horror, I got from my mom. Like, my dad was the type of dude that was only watching like westerns. Like, now, granted, my dad, now me and my dad can relate on a lot of the spaghetti westerns that he loved watching. Now that I know like the composers, that Ennio did a lot of the music for a lot of those films. So it's like, okay, well, you like Italian westerns. I like Italian horror. So that's the mesh right there. So he says, your mom was a big Stephen King book reader. My dad was a Vietnam vet, so I was allowed to rent whatever I wanted. Yeah, man, that's definitely dope for real, man. Like, my mom definitely got me into Stephen King a lot as well. But more so through the movie side, and then I grew that love for the books when I just learned that, oh, he's written all of these books, and everyone keeps saying how much better these books are than the movies. So that's definitely a dope one, dope memory for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, we were some of the lucky ones, man. Growing up on like Two Live Crew and NWA and seeing those music videos, it's something that it's definitely some nostalgia around that. But I mean, it's some pleasant memories. Like, I wouldn't trade it for growing up in any other era for sure. You say, what's your horror prize possession as far as signed stuff? You're looking at it right there. You see right here. This is my Nightmare 3 Dream Warriors poster that has most of the cast. Their autographs are on here. The only two people that I really want on this poster that I haven't gotten yet are Patricia Arquette, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get her on this on this poster in 2025, because she just obtained some convention management. So now that she has a convention representation, I definitely hope to catch her at a convention in 2025, because she definitely needs to be high on this particular one. And the other signature is Lawrence Fishburne. Now, that's a sore spot for me, because and hey, what's up, Bumper? How's it going, man? Glad that you enjoyed us. That you're joining us. But Lawrence Fishburne did an autograph signing with a autograph company that I've gone through before, and I follow them on Facebook. I follow them on Instagram. I don't know what happened, but when they announced that they were going to do the Lawrence Fishburne signature event and to send in your items that you want to get signed, I would have definitely have done that. But the algorithm did me dirty, and I did not come across that post until maybe, let's just say, a couple of days after the deadline ended. And guys, you know the lyrics from "Hurt" with 9 Inch Nails, and then of course Johnny Cash covered later, where it's like, "I hurt myself today to see if I still feel." Yeah, yeah. I don't think I felt anything after that, because it's just like, when else am I going to get the chance to get Lawrence Fishburne's autograph? So I feel that I'll definitely, hopefully, I'll be on the lookout for another event, hopefully in 2025, where he'll do another signing event. Keeping my fingers crossed with that, guys. Yeah, definitely be friends. Yeah, brother. Like, seriously, man, I feel that we would definitely be friends. That's the best thing about the live streams that I'm doing here, is the fact that I'm able to, chop it up with y'all. That's what I wanted to do more of with this channel. Like, I love posting my vlogs and everything, but I don't necessarily get the back and forth that I would like with y'all to, just talk about some of our favorite films and just what's going on in our lives. So I want to do more of these in 2025 for sure, so that we can all, just hang out, and so that, let's just say if we do end up at a convention together, it's just like, hey, we're just catching up, like old times. So, we already know each other, and let's just kick it, grab a fruit brews, and just talk stuff about our favorite horror movies. But yeah, or even rare collectibles. Another favorite of mine is, I have a poster that I need to put up. I took it down because I'm going to take it to an event soon, where some of the cast members from The Evil Dead are going to be. But I have my Evil Dead poster, and it has Sam Raimi's autograph on there. So that's another prized possession of mine. Um, let's see. There's another one here. Let me see that I have access to. It's like this little mini cutout. And I love Reanimator, guys. Huge Reanimator fan. And I have, I have Bruce's autograph here. I have, the amazing Herbert West here. We have Jeffrey's autograph, and we have Barbara Crampton's autograph right here. So I do have the three main cast members of Reanimator right here on this mini cutout. One of my favorite things. So hold on one second. Put that there. But yeah, you're right, Anthony. Your dad was into westerns too. That's one of the things that I say about guys that are our dad's generation, our dad's age, because that was probably the main genre for guys. A lot of them grew up with westerns. Similar to how we grew up with horror films and action films. So, for a lot of dads that are the same age as our dads, it's usually like westerns, Godzilla films, things of that nature. So my dad's like a huge westerns fan. Like, still to this day, like if he's watching something, it's definitely most likely a western film. So I do love that he's a genre fan as well as just with westerns. And as I've gotten older, I've definitely appreciated westerns more for sure. Yeah, other than one, Nightmare 3 is the best in the series. Yeah, I probably watched 3 a bit more than I watched 1. It's a bit more enjoyable for me, but I definitely appreciate 1 for, setting the groundwork. I appreciate part 2 for how scary Freddy is in that one. Um, Part 3 has a great ensemble cast. Part 4, also a pretty good ensemble, not as good as 3, but it has a very good final girl. I love Lisa Wilcox in part 4 and part 5, so she carries those films for sure. Um, Freddy's Dead. I didn't take well. I saw Freddy's Dead when I was very young, so I wasn't as serious as a fan to where I could just like rage out and just like, this is totally not what the franchise is supposed to be. I think I was the right age to actually enjoy Freddy's Dead, so I have a little bit of a guilty pleasure love affair with Freddy's Dead. Um, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I love that one for being so meta. I don't think I was ready for that film when I was a kid. It took some extra years for that one to really appreciate in my rating system for sure. But by the time Scream came along, it really hit. So Wes Craven's New Nightmare was one of those films that just aged a bit better for me. Let's see. See what everyone else says. JZS 2120 says I have Nightmare on Elm Street 3 mini poster with a few signatures. I need to frame it. Yeah, I mean Nightmare 3. It just that ensemble cast is like so awesome. Like there's so many quotable, so many memorable scenes. The next time that I go to Southern California, I definitely plan on going to a few Nightmare on Elm Street filming locations. It's sad because the last time I was in California, it got like record rainfall, so I couldn't really go out and enjoy it and do some vlogging like I wanted to. And then I believe that was a little bit before the current house owner moved in. So now they have all this extra crap in front of the house to make it less visible. But hey, it is what it is. It's still hallowed ground for me, so I definitely want to check it out. Bumper says I would love to meet Lawrence so he could sign Event Horizon and King of New York posters. Oh, he's so awesome in King of New York, right? I like he's so chewing up scenery, and that's a movie where it seems like everyone's chewing up scenery in that film. Like Christopher Walken is great in that film. So many memorable pieces, and I was just talking to someone not too long ago. It's crazy because we were talking about horror films and they were saying like they weren't too big of a fan of horror films, and then they were like, "What? There is one film that's more like sci-fi horror based that I enjoy. That's called Event Horizon. Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "Dude, you know about Event Horizon? Then, hey, we're kindred spirits there." So that was a sign that we were going to get along well. Yeah, Bumper, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Days of the Dead too. Definitely, for sure, I will be there. I'm going to be there also for the Halloween and Party Expo that week in Vegas. So I'm going to be there in Las Vegas for maybe like 5 or 6 days. So definitely look forward to hanging out with you for sure. Yes, that's where I plan on being as well. I'm going to be in Creep IE-Con as well. So that's when I'm planning on being in Southern Cal. Hopefully nowhere near as much rain as it received the last time I was there, because there's like landslides and they have to close like Disneyland. So that's when you know it's real. When Disneyland has to close for a day and they're going to have to miss out on that money, that's when you know it's a serious hazard. Yeah, Reanimator rules. Next year is the 40th anniversary of the movie. Yes, JZS 2120. You're so right about that. And literally, A Nightmare on Elm Street just turned 40. Like so many of these landmark films are reaching anniversaries. So it's like that's just another reminder of how old I'm getting. Like I just turned 40. So it's cool to see all of these these films that I grew up with are, just getting these anniversaries, and it's just bringing back so many memories of times I've watched them with friends or seen them in the movie theaters when they were just re-released or things of that nature. It's a fun time. Hey Anthony, take easy, man. I'm glad that you were able to come through. Hey, enjoy band practice, brother, and I will definitely see you later for the Christmas hangouts. So definitely see you next week, brother. Take it easy. JZS 2120 says 1, 3, and 7 are your favorites in the franchise. Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with 1, 3, and 7. I mean, I'm you're not going to get any disagreement there at all. So definitely good taste for sure. I heard someone bought the Poltergeist house and wants to turn it into an Airbnb rental. Really? Seriously, that's pretty awesome. And that's what we need more of, Bumper. Like seriously, like there's like the guy in Pittsburgh that owns the Buffalo Bill house. Like he wants people to come out, enjoy the house as it should be, because for a lot of us people that enjoy these films, these are like landmarks for us. Like seriously, and for a lot of us horror fans, we really want to respect these places and we want to just enjoy them. So like with the guy that owns the Nightmare on Elm Street house, yeah, I understand. You want people to be respectful. You don't want people to trespass. You don't want people to do anything like Breaking Bad fans have done to that poor house. The Walter White house of people throwing pizzas on the house. You don't want to do anything douchey like that. But us horror fans, for the most part, we're pretty respectful. We don't do anything pretty bad. Like the people that live down the street that own some of the Halloween houses. One of them in particular, they would put a little basket to put up little tidbits and information about the film and the filming of the movie there. They leave out little pumpkin for you to have a photo op there. That's what I would totally do if I were an owner for a house or a landmark that's so important to horror film fans. Like for instance, people can go have a drink and enjoy a great meal at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. People that are enterprising horror fans can make tons of money off of this. Like seriously, what horror fan wouldn't want to come in from out of town? Hey, I want to enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street house. I will gladly spend 10, 20, $25 to have a tour of it. So hey, there you go. If I'm saying that, then I know there's plenty of people that would do the same. So you going there on Saturday? Hey man, let me know how that is. And Old Restless, what's going on? How's it going, Old Restless? Glad that you're in here. You should really check out Hollywood Show Con in Burbank. There's one in January, and there's no wait for lines and over 30. Whoa, really? Okay, I'm gonna make sure to check that out. You know what? I think I did hear about Hollywood Show Con. I think I may have seen someone do a vlog on that on YouTube at one point. So that did seem like a very awesome show to check out. Someone needs to buy Grandpa's Lost Boys house. It's falling apart. Yeah, I've seen. I think I've seen Michael and Jessica from the Grim Life Collective go there, and yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, seriously, it's just sitting there. So someone should do something with a lot of these places. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't really be that expensive, or at least you could get a collective of horror fans that will be up for buying it for sure. Yeah, JZS 2120. The Monroeville Mall is up for sale. Yeah, there's two companies that want to buy and keep it a mall. It's a landmark. Yeah, it totally should stay a mall. I mean, seriously, it's a part of film history. I would be devastated if someone demolished it or put something else up in that spot. Like it should totally remain a mall, and that's one of the reasons why I definitely want to go and see it next year before something like that happens, because like the Back to the Future Mall, with everything that's going on with that, with the Legend of Billie Jean Mall, with that one being closed down. A lot of these malls you can't go to anymore, and a lot of these malls you remember from cool films. Like I still need to go see the mall from Chopping Mall. I definitely want to see the Chopping Mall. So when I come out to Southern Cal, that will probably be another landmark that I want to go see. So at Days of the Dead, you'll be there Saturday. Okay, I will be there all weekend at Days of the Dead, and I plan on going to the Art the Clown Appreciation Society get together afterwards on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad that they're doing more after party events at Days of the Dead Vegas. The last couple of years they didn't really do much, and I'm guessing that's because with it being Las Vegas, they figured that people are just going to find other things to do. But for me, if I'm in, I don't care where I am. If I'm there with my horror family, I want to be with my horror family, and then we go do stuff. I'm not trying to ditch them just to go hang out in Las Vegas. I mean, I could do that any other weekend in Las Vegas, But yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us, man, for real. I mean, I know you guys could possibly be doing other things, but I figured, it's going to be, I didn't have plans for tonight, so I figured it would be a great time to kick with you guys. So feel free to also smash that like button, guys. That's going to help the channel get the algorithm out to other people. Yes. The one in Vegas is really fun. The lines are pretty short, and that's another reason why I plan to be there. Because I want to get. I think this is going to be the perfect time for me to get David Howard Thornton's autograph, because he's planning on being at a few other conventions that I want to be at this year, but I'm pretty sure all of those lines are going to be absolutely crazy for Art the Clown. So I kind of want to go to that one because I know it won't have as long of a line as the other cons for sure, especially on like Sunday. All right, JZS 2120. Thank you so much for hanging out. Definitely feel free to come back anytime. You know, you're welcome here. That's what we have this channel for, especially the live hangouts. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Yeah, Bumper, for real. I definitely know the feeling because I know for with Terrifier 3 coming out and with more and more and more people becoming indoctrinated with Terrifier and the franchise, his lines are getting bigger and bigger. Like seriously, he has some very very long lines, and I'm very very happy for both David Howard Thorne and Damien in regards to all the success that they're having. They're supposed to be at Texas Frightmare this year. Like literally, they're so far. Let's see here. Let me see. Let me actually go to. Let's go to the Texas Frightmare site and show you guys all the people that they will be having there that they've announced. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy lineup for this year. Okay, me. Yeah, so here we go. We got Melissa Barrera. I've met her at Horror Hound, but I think I'm going to shell out the money to see her again because she is such a pleasant guest. And I don't know how many more conventions she's going to do, but she's definitely a treat. I definitely would pay to see her again. You got Bruce Campbell. I'm definitely going to have to get him on my The Evil Dead poster for sure. We got James and Chelsea from Dead Meat. We got Damien for sure. We got Elliot. Definitely can't wait. I definitely want to meet Elliot for sure and Damien. And then, of course, Lauren is going to be there. I know their lines are going to be freaking crazy. So many people. Let's see. We got Lisa Frankenstein in the house. We got Catherine and Cole. Of course, DHT in the house. Art the Clown. But yeah, saving for Texas Frightmare. Yeah, that Abigail cast is awesome. And I hope they have a panel because I went to the Abigail panel at Horror Hound and that was quite a treat. They were all so funny. Like there was a lot of laughs in that one. So guys, I would definitely recommend checking out my latest Horror Hound convention video to check that one out, as well as the Lisa Frankenstein one. That was a pretty fun one. Zach says, where does Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey rank for you as far as cons? I'm interested because of the Return of the Living Dead crew being there. All right, Zach, I have not done Monster Mania Con yet, but it is on my list of cons to actually do next year. I have a goal of going to more West Coast and East Coast related cons. So I've been definitely meaning to check out Monster Mania for sure, as well as let's see, a few other ones also on the West Coast. I definitely want to see Ty West for sure. Alicia Weir was also so nice, so sweet. My son was a bit bummed that he didn't get a chance to go to Horror Hound with me, so he's definitely very excited to meet Alicia because he enjoyed Abigail and the Matilda musical. I'm geeked for Ty West as someone that's just loved almost literally everything that this man has done. So he's probably going to be one of the first people that I'll make a beeline to meet for sure. Yeah, you got to get in line early for Bruce for sure, Bumper. Yeah, Bruce is definitely someone that I've been wanting to meet for a long time. So so far these are all the guests for Texas Frightmare so far, but I'm looking forward to seeing which new ones they'll have going on. And another con that I plan on going to is Monsterpalooza. I've heard really good things of Monsterpalooza. So there are a lot of cons that I haven't gone to just yet, but I'm planning on scratching off as many new ones as possible. Like With my channel, I try to do a good balance of revisiting certain cons that I know are going to be really, really good, and then going to new ones that I've been wanting to check out as well. So some, sometimes I'm going to go to ones every year, just like Texas Frightmare, Houston Horror Film Festival, um, um, Texas Hunters Convention, mainly because those are really close by to me. Other ones, I have a really good relationship with, like CreepyCon out in Knoxville, Tennessee. They treat me like family, so I definitely try to go out there pretty often. And then we have new ones that I try to go to, like Monster Mania. Try to go to Monster Palooza. So there's a few other ones. I want to go to some more film festivals. I want to go to the Overlook Film Festival in New Orleans. There are a few other film festivals that look like a very awesome time. So I mean, I plan on bringing you guys a few other unique things to the channel. To keep you guys guessing for sure. John Philbin from Return of the Living Dead actually teaches fans how to surf in Hawaii. Not a lot of people know that, but it's cheap, and you stay with the actor at his home while he teaches you. Wow, Bumper, that's actually pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. I like that idea, the fact of learning a skill from one of the cast members from Return of the Living Dead. So, wow, that's really cool that John Philbin does that. So Bruce Campbell is one of the coolest dudes in the world. Yeah, Bruce Campbell's awesome old wrestlers. I mean, he's just has that quintessential coolness about him. I've heard things about Bruce in regards to getting signatures, but sometimes it's in regards to his line being so long. So sometimes it's just like get your signature and dip. And for some people, that leaves a bad taste in their mouths. And I was just talking to that with someone in regards to like, hey, if I'm going to just get an autograph, hey, as long as I come away with my autograph, I'm cool with that. Not every celebrity is going to be super forthcoming, super personable. And, whenever they are like that, that's a bonus for me. But as long as I can say, hey, I met this person, got my signature, it looks good on my poster or whatever memorabilia that I have, hey, I could care less. So that's very cool. I can't wait to meet Bruce. And Barbara says, don't forget V-Nil's Vampire Weekend in March, but not a lot of guests listed yet for that one. I did see that one announced, and I still have to meet V-Nil. I mean, Oscar winner. She's super cool. I've heard a lot of good things about her. So I would absolutely love to meet her and discuss, her working in Hollywood, a lot of her experiences, how she got into, makeup and things of that nature. So I I would definitely enjoy checking that out. There's also like in around Halloween this year, there's going to be like there's an Anne Rice ball that will be happening, and I'm a huge fan of Anne Rice. I love Return Interview with the Vampire. I love Queen of the Damned, The Mummy, Exit to Eden, a few other things that she's done. Of course, like the things that she's done with vampires and witches, just the whole, Southern Gothic feel for Anne Rice is something that I really enjoy. So to go to an event that's Anne Rice related and then do some cool Anne Rice related stuff, I would definitely do that. That is going to be set in New Orleans, Bumper. Her son put out an announcement on Facebook, but I think there's a mailing list for it. I think if you go to the Anne Rice website or the Anne Rice Facebook page, they will have it on one of the most recent posts, I would imagine. And I'm definitely putting plans to go to that because, I mean, New Orleans, Halloween, Anne Rice, what a combination. So I definitely would love to do that. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about V, so I would totally love to meet her. She's been at a few conventions that I've been at before. I would say maybe like 2 conventions that I've been at before, but I've never had the chance of meeting her. That's how it is at conventions. Sometimes you only have so much money saved up, and I'm the type of person that I don't really like to come up to people's tables without necessarily having something that I would like to buy from them already or able to purchase an autograph. I mean, unless I'm just saying like a quick hello, something to that effect. But thankfully, me being media at some places, I could just stop by and just say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm here with media credentials. Is it okay if I ask you a question, or if I, take a quick picture of you, such, and a lot of cases they don't mind. So that's my way of coming through and saying a quick hello to a lot of my favorite celebs, or celebs that I would love to actually meet. So yeah, guys. I mean, hope everyone's doing good. What's everyone up to? Let me see what other things we're going to do here. Da, 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 da. Let me see what other cool articles do we have. Okay, let's go back on Bloody Disgusting. Let's see. Oh, did anyone see the 21 years later trailer? That was a pretty tastefully done trailer for sure. Oh, looks like Sydney Sweeney has another horror movie coming out Christmas 2025. So it looks like we're getting some more cool stuff. The new Ghostbusters animated movie and animated series in the works. Oh, wow. And speaking of 28 years later, did you guys see that they're already announcing a 28 years later sequel releasing in January of not next year, 2026. So a little bit over a year from now. And that could either be a good thing or a bad thing. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? Yeah, so Mad Monster Party is having Freddy cast at almost every one of their cons this year. Yeah, I did see that for the Phoenix one. I think I'm gonna go. I'm still debating, but I think I'm gonna go to the Phoenix Mad Monster Party / Days of the Dead weekend. I mean, because they're both going to be in the Phoenix area on the same weekend. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I know that probably ruffled some feathers in regards to both promoters there. But for the horror fans, that's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, you can never get too much horror con fun. And I love the fact that you can pick and choose. Like, hey, I may go to this one on Friday, go to that one on Saturday. This one has the better after party on this day. This one has, this panel on this day. So that will be an interesting weekend. But there's also another one, an event that I'm thinking about doing that weekend. So I'm so conflicted, guys. I still have a little bit of time to decide, but I think I will be in Phoenix that weekend for that, because that seems like that would be fun. I mean, two horror cons that I've gone to in the past in the same city, same weekend. I definitely would love to go. You're right, Bumper. I love the Phoenix one. I love Mad Monster Party. I've only been to one, and that's the Phoenix one. But I would love to go to the North Carolina one for sure. There's so many different cons. So that's another reason why I definitely appreciate any super chats that I may receive, because it's like PBS, guys. I can continue to go on to all of these awesome cons and filming locations with donations from viewers like you, as they would say. But it's not a necessity. I always say likes, comments, and making sure you're subscribed is a major, major benefit for my channel being a smaller channel. But I always want to continue to bring all types of cool content to the travelers, because you guys are very, very important to me. But speaking of a blast from the past, check this out, guys. Check this out. So there's going to be a new Ghostbusters animated movie and animated series in the works. As I mentioned earlier, being a 80s baby, being a 90s kid, you get, certain memories like Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters animated show. And there were some pretty scary episodes as a kid for the real Ghostbusters show. So it's very cool to see that they're trying to do more in regards to that. And maybe the animated works will be a bit better than the live action ones, but you didn't know Let me stop. Okay. But yeah, Bumper, you said last time we spoke, I was telling you about Tony Cox, and man, he was so nice. I hung out with him for like 15 minutes. Tony is awesome. I would have loved to like gotten so many stories from him in regards to like, hey, what was it like being on Willow? What was it like being on Elf? What was it like being on Friday? I would have. Oh my gosh, I would have loved hearing stories about Friday because that's like one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's cool to know that they're gonna get some more Ghostbusters related properties here. I'm a major Ghostbusters fan, so that's cool to see. Yeah, what did you and Tony talk about? Oh, you talked about a lot about Bernie Mac. Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely have asked him about Bernie Mac. That's another thing I like to ask about celebrities. If they've worked with another celebrity that I never got a chance to meet that has since passed on, I like to get cool stories about them working with that particular celebrity. So that's definitely along the lines of what I would have asked Tony as well on Bumper for sure. Let's see, The Housemaid, starring Sydney Sweeney, releasing Christmas 2025. So, all right, so we have some more Christmas um, shenanigans being released. So, The Housemaid is about a struggling young woman who is relieved to get a fresh start as a housemaid to Nina, who is played by Amanda Seyfried, and Andrew, who plays by Brandon Sklenar, a wealthy couple. Okay. And so it's a psychological thriller. And that's what's funny. I think they just had to do a recasting for this film. So that's cool that they finally have it underway. Yeah, I mean, Bernie was awesome. Yeah, seriously. Like, I mean, pound for pound, one of the most funny comedians out there for sure. Like, whether he was doing like more raunchy humor that was like more uncensored, but he can also do more family style comedy, which was obviously shown by how many people love the Bernie Mac show. So that's definitely, super dope to see that. And it said, oh, Restless here said, I asked Shawnee Smith what it was like working with John Candy. Oh man, John Candy. I was literally just talking about John Candy not too long ago. Because, of course, getting on the discussion about Home Alone, and just talking about how as a kid, John Candy was just such an awesome actor. Is just one of those guys that totally died way too soon. He was somebody that when he did pass away, I just thought about all the movies of his that I just totally enjoyed. Even just watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles just recently over Thanksgiving. It's a yearly tradition for a lot of people seeing that film. A lot of people love Uncle Buck. My personal favorite John Candy film is The Great Outdoors. That is a film that I can watch countless times. Him and Dan Aykroyd in that film. Oh, absolute classic. Like, I cannot get enough of that film. I watched it like so many times on television as a kid. Yeah, you're right. Jangalag, Jangalag, Jangalag. Yeah. Summer Rental. Yeah, you're right, Bumper. Summer Rental, another good one. Like, the hits came on, and we really should have gotten way more John Candy. Like, we should have gotten John Candy as an older guy. Like, as a kid, you really don't realize how young someone is because you just think everyone over the age of like 25 is like old when you're a kid. But John Candy was pretty young when he passed. So we should have gotten like way more, time with John Candy for sure. But yeah, I love asking people that, it's a great thing because it makes you feel connected with those people in some ways because you're just like, hey, you got a chance to spend with this person and I never got to, and it's just crazy. Like, for instance, like, okay, I'm looking up John Candy now. As a kid, you see John Candy, you think a big guy, you would have thought he was way older than he was, but John Candy was only 43 when he passed away. That's crazy young, and that's crazy scary when you have just recently turned 40. It's just like, wow, geez, like, John Candy was still so young. Like, technically, this man, I mean, if he would have passed away, let's just say this year in 2024, you would just be like, okay, he lived a good long life. We would have got 30 more years of Candy. If he passed away at 73, you're just like, okay, like for instance, like with people like Tony Todd and everything like that. We feel like we've gotten way more Tony Todd because we did. We got to see him continue to act more. Tony Todd, even though he was 69, still a little bit young, but we got to see more. Let's just say if Tony Todd's career halted right after Candyman or Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, how much more Tony Todd we would have missed out on. So, whenever I see people like John Candy or, people like that, it's just one of those things I really wish that, we got more of them. But like you said, old wrestlers, it definitely keeps their memory alive too, talking to them about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's kind of like one of those things. But you make a great impact. I mean, he did do a lot of damage to his body for sure. It's kind of like with Chris Farley, you know. It's like you live fast. He said, a bumper says, I once had Carolyn Williams hit on me in 2009. At my first con, I was shocked. One of my favorite moments ever. She was great. Caroline is awesome. She's a sweetheart. And that woman keeps herself in amazing shape. Like, I saw her recently at Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky. And she was dressed to the nines, looking fantastic as ever. I mean, she looks like she could play an updated version of Stretch right now. Like, she could play Stretch currently in this moment right now, and I would totally be down for it. Yeah, Miss Tony as well. I just started playing the new Indiana game, and Tony is in it. Really? Oh wow. Yeah, it's one of those things that's pretty interesting to see certain people appear in certain things. Like I was watching some like random nature documentary highlight, and the narrator was Keith David. And it's just funny to just like, that's Keith David's voice. Like, you're just like, it's undeniable. It's completely, identifiable instantly. And you're just like, wow, it's cool. And you just wish that you could have one of those amazing voices like that. You're just like, wow, that dude, I could listen to Keith David read the phone book. Oh, man. Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh yeah, they released a few images to The Monkey, which is the Stephen King adaptation that will be directed by Oz Perkins. So let's look and see some of these images. All right, bear with me, guys. All right, so we have some images. Now that, get some bloody tears going, and got some blood coming from maybe some other orifices here. Yeah. I'm definitely excited for this film. Oz has a very good track record. Also, with it being brought to you by Neon is a very good upcoming production studio. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what other pictures we have. All right. Like, we have a bullet right through the window there. Got some church scenes there. That can be a very creepy sight depending on the film and some cinematography. And the monkey. Everyone dies, and that's effed up. All right, I'm digging that. February 21st. So we got some more Osgood Perkins coming out soon, guys. I'm looking forward to that. I'm all for Stephen King adaptations, no matter how good or bad they may be. It's always a ride. As someone that is a huge Stephen King fan, I should be going to his hometown of in Maine very, very soon. I'm very excited for that. Be going to Bangor, Maine. Let's see. And also, someone mentioned Silver Scream Con earlier, but yeah, I definitely want to go to Silver Scream Con. I believe that will be my New England convention that I'll be going to this year. The past 2 years, I've gone to what's the name of that con? Terracon. Terracon. So I think I'll be going to Silver Scream because they are literally like a month apart from each other, unless I can make both of them. But my actual plans will be to go to Silver Scream. So I am greatly excited for that, guys. Can't wait. I'm gonna pull up this one because even though I'm not the biggest Funko fan, I know I have a couple of buddies of mine that are Funko collectors. And Funko just revealed new Beetlejuice and Gremlins 2 pop figures. So that's dope. I kind of like that Gizmo one. I'm not even going to lie. The Gremlins 2 one, I do love Rambo Gizmo. So that may be one I may get. I'm not even going to lie. And I do like the Lydia Dietz one. So those are actually pretty cool. And then the Beetlejuice one glows in the dark. So, okay. That's pretty cool. Oh, tuxedo one. All right. All right, guys. It looks like Funko is keeping it going. I know I definitely have a few friends that will be looking for that one for sure. And looks like Terrifier 3 will be back in theaters on the 24th. I may try to actually see that. Go see that and then Nosferatu and do a back to back. That may be nice. Yeah, New England, dang, that's a long flight. Actually, it's not really that bad. Thankfully, with me being in Texas and in the middle of the country, I get to take advantage of being very central and flights not being too long. I think New England from me was right about 3 hours, so close to about the same distance as Florida. It's not too bad, thankfully, but it's worse if I have to do like a connecting flight. Last time I had to do a connecting flight to I had to go to JFK and then from JFK to Boston, and I do not want to do that again at all. It was not fun. But yeah, you're right, Bumper. The Mist is awesome. The Mist is pretty gnarly film. Probably one of the best endings of a horror film. The most not so happy endings in horror. Trying to say for Living Dead week, yeah, I feel you. There's like only so many, and then it's hard when conventions are really clustered together at the same time, unless one is like local and another one is further away, because sometimes you have to like choose which one has the better guest, or one you may have a more fun time with, or you may just decide, well, I've never done this particular con, so let's try this one. So yeah, it could definitely add up. So it's one of those things that's a pretty penny, but we definitely make it work for sure. Romero, Rare Romero guest will be there from Day of the Dead movie. Ooh, really? Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, especially with a lot of people that are in like the Day, Dawn, or Night of the Living Dead series, basically anything with the Romero Dead trilogy. Those cast members are getting older and older now, so definitely try to get those autographs while you can, for sure, because you never know what will happen, if you'll ever get that chance to see them again. So I always try to take advantage of just at least being in the same space, especially if they're like doing a panel. So let's just say if I have run out of money for a convention that particular weekend, I'll definitely try to make sure to go to the panels, because with that I can at least ask questions. I could just spend a good hour with those people and hearing them talk about their experiences, whether it's from a movie, a horror movie that I'm there for, or it could be another movie of theirs that you know is not horror related, but I may love. Like for instance, Costas Mandalore, for the I saw panel at Days of the Dead. I asked him about Fist of the North Star, and he was very pleased with me asking about that because I can imagine that he doesn't really get asked about that very much. You would have to be someone like me who caught that film on Cinemax, or you were someone that was really into anime, or you were someone that just so happened to just randomly stumble upon that movie and it's just like, oh, this is pretty cool to actually probably know about it. So he was just like, wow, man, that's a great question. Thanks a lot for asking me. So I'm like, hey, that's cool. So I'm glad to hear about that. So it looks like Courtney Cox will be returning as Gail Weathers in Scream 7. Not really too much of a big surprise. I mean, I would imagine that they were wanting to bring her back, and she seems to be pretty ecstatic with coming back to the franchise, and I love that. So hopefully Gail makes it through. I mean, we would not want Gail to not make it past another Scream movie. So survival for Gail. I'm seeing another story that says Alien Romulus, The Substance, and Nosferatu, they made the 97th Oscar shortlist. So that's cool. Hopefully that we'll get some more horror recognition. So let's go to this particular article, guys. This is a good one to go through because you know how the Oscars really tends to ignore horror. So hopefully we get some recognition for our favorite genre with this stuffy award ceremony. So let's see. So far we have the shortlist categories. So for makeup and hairstyling, we have three nominees. Well, three people. Well, three films on the shortlist. We have Beetlejuice, Nosferatu, and The Substance. I would definitely imagine that The Substance would be making it to be nominated for sure. I would imagine that Nosferatu would possibly make it, depending on what the makeup looks like, even though we haven't necessarily seen the final look for Count Orlok yet. Beetlejuice, I mean, V won for Beetlejuice. So it would be nice to see if Beetlejuice was nominated as well. And as someone that's a fan of the Dune series, I'm glad to see that that is on the short list as well. For music, we have Alien Romulus nominated. Excuse me. Beetlejuice. Blink Twice, which I haven't seen yet, but I hear it's a pretty interesting watch. And Nosferatu, which is very good. Hopefully, I can see Alien Romulus being on there. There was some pretty good music in that. I need to watch it again. Let's see, Bumper, what did you say? You say, I love to see Willem Dafoe at a con. Oh, I would so love to meet Willem Dafoe, for sure. And I have a massive Daybreakers poster for him to sign. That's dope. I would totally love to meet Willem. Like, he seems like an awesome guy, for sure. Sound, Alien Romulus. Great sound in that film. So, okay. Visual effects, Alien Romulus again. Okay. All right, so we do have some short lists there for those. And of course, I would imagine The Substance will get a nomination for Best Actress. It would be awesome if they got one for Best Supporting Actress as well. But I would imagine that Best Actress, a nominee for Demi Moore, would be something that would be happening. I think it's awesome to think of Demi Moore being nominated for an Oscar for a body horror film, knowing that Demi Moore was the cover girl on the poster for I Spit on Your Grave. I just think that is so a full circle moment, you know, for that to happen. Like, seriously. And it's funny how a lot of people didn't know that was Demi Moore on that poster. I think she definitely. Well, I think it was like an urban legend for the longest, but she didn't confirm it until she wrote her autobiography. So that's just super cool to think of. So, just to see that. Yeah, yeah, that is definitely Demi Moore in I Spell in Your Grave. So right here, this is Demi Moore. So she's in a exploitation horror film on this actual poster, and I remember seeing this cover on the VHS tape as a kid, and I'll just see, oh, I Spell on Your Grave. Wow, but I just did not know that that was Demi Moore. But yeah, that's very sick. So I really hope she gets the Oscar. That would be so cool that all these years later that Demi would get that recognition for that film. Let's see. But yeah, let's see if I could. Yeah, I think I think it was like an urban legend for the longest, but she confirmed it in her memoir. Let me see. But and then also, like what I love about Demi is like Demi has always been a woman that hasn't been afraid to strip down, pun intended. Um, I mean, because she did some modeling in the past that you could Google and see certain pictures of, and it's very 80s. I'll just put it that way. I must warn you, it's very 80s, very 80s, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. But it's cool to know that she did all this modeling early in her career, and like for instance, yeah, you're right, Bumper. I mean, Demi looks awesome. Right, she's one of those women. I mean, like Jennifer Connelly, Demi Moore. There are certain women that I just have always had a thing for, that just have always, just been so cool. Like, oh, that Demi right there. Oh, so awesome. But did you see her today and how distinguished and gorgeous she is today? And she's aged very well. You see, like, modeling pictures right there sometime in the 80s. So this is around the same time that she posed for I Spell in Your Grave, and then of course her and the iconic striptease. And there you go, I Spell in Your Grave. So that's very cool. I mean, that's a very awesome transition, for an actress to make those. I think that's like, and I think that's telling for her to actually, if she did win the Oscar for that, for her to win for that role and what it says in regards to being an actress in Hollywood, aging in Hollywood. I mean, when you're young, you're this thing that has so much stock into it. Everyone's after that young beauty, and she represents that in the I Spit on Your Grave time of her career. And as she goes through her career, she's the sex symbol where she's just like, oh, okay, well, striptease and GI Jane and everything to that effect. And even as she ages, what actresses deal with, it's one of those things that even Barbara Crampton started to talk about, how she started to get less and less roles after she turned 30, and she decided that she just wanted to concentrate on her family. And that's why she took a break for so long, and to eventually return back to acting around the time of You're Next. And we definitely missed her from around that time. So I'm glad that, Demi has had a stage in her career all through those times, because you'll see that time where she's transitioning to an older actress around the time of the what is it, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, because everyone's talking about, oh wow, look at Demi's body, and it was in relation to her age at that time. It's like it was like so impossible for a woman at her age to achieve a body like that. And they were actually still talking about that recently on like Demi was on like a Drew Barrymore's show, and they were talking about that and how that's in relation to The Substance now, because that movie's like 20 years after that Charlie Angels film. So and for her to strip down literally like to nothing in that film, that's a pretty brave thing. But I think she definitely deserves to win the Oscar for that. I mean, if she doesn't win, I would like for Mikey Madison to win because I'm a huge fan of Mikey Madison, and I've heard really great things about Honor, even though I haven't seen it yet. And I'm really annoyed that the theaters here in Dallas only really showed it for like maybe a week and a half, and then it was gone. So lo and behold, I'm either going to have to wait for it to reach streaming or for it to come back out in theaters sometime soon. You say you're not a big fan of the Beverly Hills show, but maybe they might add some more guests soon. Hopefully they will, Bumper. That's one of the things sometimes with shows. Sometimes they kind of lag with letting you know the additional guests. Sometimes they do a great job of getting you those initial guests that they know people want to see so that they can go ahead and get people to purchase tickets. And then sometimes, you kind of want to wait out for maybe a couple of different, announcements to, kind of persuade you to get to that point. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Sometimes it's one of those things that, the guests can decide on whether or not, you want to actually make it to that particular show. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you'll get some cool guests at that particular show. And where are you located again, Bumper? Okay, I'm looking through some more articles. Did anyone see? Speaking of interesting things, did anyone see the trailer for the new Jenna Ortega film, Death of a Unicorn? That looks like a pretty fun creature feature. That's a very unique take on creature feature horror. So I think that would be pretty awesome to see a killer unicorn get revenge. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see what other um, interesting news has been had. Oh, so they're going to do a Violent Night 2 that was confirmed by David Harbour. Pretty cool. I really enjoyed Violent Night. That was a pretty surprising film. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what may come about with that one. I love some good campy, schlocky stuff like that. We also have Anna Camp is joining Scream 7. That's cool that they keep announcing more people that will be making their way into that one. I love Anna Camp. She's a fun actress. She's very funny. I love when women can straddle that funny and attractive line. So that's pretty dope. Oh, I forgot another horror movie that I really enjoyed this year was Heretic. That's a fun one, guys. If you haven't seen Heretic yet, I definitely recommend that one. Hugh Grant did a very good job, as well as the actresses that play the missionaries. It was a very very fantastic film, and it's funny because Topher Grace is in that film, and I totally forgot he was in there until I looked at the cast later. And I'm like, wait a second, Topher Grace was in there? Who did he play? And then I looked, I'm like, oh, okay. So it was a very good job of Topher Grace not looking like Topher Grace, but now that you see him on second watch, you're just like, okay, yeah, that's totally him. But yeah, Heretic is very good, Bumper. I definitely highly recommend that one. Oh, yeah, I've definitely have gone to Tom Devlin's Monster Museum. I've gone there twice. If I have the time, I think I will stop around for a third trip. I love Tom Devlin's because they really switch out the exhibits multiple times a year. So I would definitely enjoy that. I think the last time I was there, his wife was there. Tom was out of town. I think he was at a convention or he was working on a film. I believe at that time. So I definitely hope to stop back by Boulder City and check the museum again because I really enjoy it. Yeah, I really love the Monster Museum, Bumper. It was definitely a delight. But now that you say something about it, I haven't had the chance to interview Tom, so I would definitely enjoy interviewing him. I should call up to the store, or I'll email the store from Instagram to see if he'll possibly be there that week. Yeah, that's the best thing about that museum, and that's what I recommend to a lot of people is the fact that every time that you go there, your experience is going to be a bit different. Because sometimes you'll go to, I'm not going to talk crap about any other horror museums or exhibits, but sometimes they just don't do a great job of switching things out or keeping things pretty interesting. Um, Another place that I can think of that does a really good job of that is I know in Florida there's Atomic Horror. Even though it's not a museum, it's a store. They do a really good job of switching out the exhibits. Also, Terror Trader in Arizona, they do a really good job of switching out the displays. So let's just say if you're someone like me that's coming in from out of town and you don't get a chance to visit often, the next time that you'll come in, the store will be completely different. Yeah, 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 no doubt, Bumper. I'm always for that, man. Like, I'm definitely down to hang out for sure. I'll keep you posted. Like, for instance, I know I'm definitely going to be there Saturday, and I would definitely love to hang out and vibe. Let's just say, like, even if you're going to be, excuse me, even if you're going to be hanging out after the con, if you're going to go to the after party or hang out or something like that, definitely let's get some drinks and hang out, talk about some horror. I'm all about that. Yeah, Terror Trader is an awesome, awesome store. I mean, great, great concept. Like, I love the fact that it's like a flea market, but it's like a store. Like, it's like that whole vendor convention feel that you love. That there's different people selling different items, and there's always going to be something new there. So for anyone that's never been to Terror Trader, I highly recommend it. But yeah, Bummer, let's seriously, like, I really love hanging out with the subscribers of the channel, or as I call them, the travelers, because you guys travel with me to every convention, every filming location, everything that I go to. So, I love the fact that you guys are so supportive. So, anytime that I could just spend some time with you all and chop it up, I'm here for it. All right, we're here at this next article of the 20 essential horror movies of the 2020s to watch right now. It seems like another cool article from Fangoria. I want to see how many of these I've actually watched before. So I'm going to count them off. Okay, I have seen Abigail. Very good. So I definitely enjoy that one. I haven't seen Monsters versus the Bronx, but I believe that one's on Amazon Prime. I definitely need to check it out sometime. Yeah, you're right, Bumper. Michael and Jessica are so awesome. They're very cool. I've met them while they were working at conventions, and I've seen them while they were just hanging out at conventions, like we are, just to attend. The last time that I saw them, when they weren't working a convention, was at Mad Monster Party in Arizona, and they were just hanging out. I think they were there to see like maybe Doug Bradley or somebody, and I was just chatting with them for a bit. It was cool to see Jessica. It's cool because I love it because of course Jessica's the more sociable of the both of them, but Michael, he's just so gracious though. He may be a little bit more quiet, a little bit more introverted, but that's just so cool. They are just so awesome. Like, to talk about some of our favorite films and how much they've inspired me. And Jessica's such a sweetheart. She's the type that's like, give me a hug. You're just like, okay, cool, cool. And Michael's just so cool. He's very down to earth and relaxed. Definitely one of my favorite horror couples, and I wish them much, much more success. And they continue to be an inspiration for me. Like, they are totally who I want to be as a YouTuber. So, uh, definitely agree with you on that. Oh, so you were in line for Ozzy. How was Ozzy, Bumper? Yeah, I mean, I have a few people that I know. A few good friends are cool with Michael and Jessica as well. They all say the same thing, that they are exactly who they portray themselves to be on their YouTube channel. And that's something that I really appreciate because, I try to be the same. I try to be that same person that, like, what you see is what you get. And, you know, um, I try to always do that. That's cool that Ozzy was amazing. I'm glad to hear that, Bumper. Um, I would definitely enjoy, meeting Ozzy sometimes for sure. I'm glad that he's doing more cons. He's doing more signings and things of that nature. So that's great. All right. The next one on the list is Last Voyage of the Demeter. I did see that one, and I did enjoy that one. It should have gotten a bit more fanfare than it did. It kind of went under the radar, but I really enjoyed it because that is probably one of my favorite parts of Dracula, the book Dracula, because him wreaking havoc on that boat is such an awesome premise of a movie. And usually the movies kind of brush over that part of the book. I mean, going all the way back to Nosferatu, they only really spend a portion of Count Dracula or Count Orlok picking off the crew one by one until the captain's just left to tie himself to the wheel of the ship to get them to their destination. So I definitely recommend more people see The Last Voyage of the Demeter for sure. And you said his daughter Kelly was eyeballing me and smiling. She's there, which was weird. Sharon was nice and loved me too. Hey man, it's Hollywood. You never know, man. She may have been into you, Bumper. She may have still been into you, married or not. And Sharon, yeah, they seem to be very cool for sure. I was a big fan of the Meet the Osbournes show back in the day. I mean, in the early days of reality television. So I'm having the actor sign my Last Voyage of Demeter at CreepyCon this January. Supposedly his first con in 9 years. Really? Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, that was a very fun watch last year. I mean, to marry into the Osbournes, I mean, that's not a bad deal there for sure. I mean, if I'm marrying into some families, I mean, there are some way worse families that you can marry into. So you wouldn't be doing too bad. I mean, to have Ozzy as a father-in-law, I mean, I'm pretty sure there would be some times where I'm just like, okay, I don't know what your dad said, Kelly, but I'm just gonna nod my head and just. All right. The next one is Renfield. I did see Renfield. That was a pretty fun one. It came out around the same time as Last Voyage of the Demeter, so I think it kind of stole some of the fire from the Last Voyage of the Demeter. But that was a fun one. I definitely enjoyed Renfield. Best Christmas ever. I agree with that. Day Shift. I didn't see Day Shift, but I think that's the one that's on Netflix. Yeah, the Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg one. Okay. All right. I think I may check that one out simply because it's on this list, and then Dave Franco's in it. So, all right. Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. You know what? I haven't seen this one, but I have heard really good things about this film. So I'm glad to see that on this list. So that gives me an idea of something I need to kind of check out. We got Night Thief. I have not heard nor seen this film. It has Megan Fox, Sydney Sweeney, Lucy Fry, and Debbie Allen in this one, and Alfie Allen. Wow, this is quite the cast right here. I actually like a lot of the people that are mentioned right here, so I need to check this out. I had Ozzy sign an Ultimate Sin poster that it's a tour poster from '86, and he was shocked because I've had it on my wall since '86. Really, Buffer? Oh man, that's dope. But you know what? That's probably my favorite thing to see at horror conventions are the very cool, especially very cool and vintage things that people are getting signed. Like there are instances where people have something like very cool, like for instance that you said that tour poster that you had signed by Ozzy, because a lot of those, are keepsakes that we've had for most of our lives, and as you said, you've had it on your wall since '86. So this is something that really means a lot to you. So you wouldn't take this off of your wall unless you're one, moving, or you're two, having this signed by Ozzy himself. So, hey, that's awesome, Bumper. That's very cool, man. I love hearing stories like that. Oh, let's see. We got Caroline Williams here. We were just talking about her. So we have 10 Minutes to Midnight. I have not seen this one. It's a vampire comedy horror. Okay. And it's Caroline Williams playing a radio host again. All right. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. El Condi. I have not seen El Condi. Yeah, I bet it did mean the world to you, Bumper. That's the best thing about horror cons because the celebrities are very appreciative and they really, really do understand. You see, bleeding. I haven't seen bleeding. Oh, it was at Manchester's Grimfest. That's actually funny enough. Another horror convention, well, not convention, film festival that I had listed to possibly go to. Let me actually, because I have a list here of world's best genre film festivals to go to, as I was doing some potential scouting for film festivals to go to in 2025. And I believe that was listed on that one. So very cool. Where's that one here again? There we go. All right, bleeding. The Vordelac. I haven't seen that, but it looks like a Count Orlok style vampire. And I enjoy Count Orlok style vampires. So, okay. Let the Wrong One In. Absolutely amazing one. I've seen this one. It's funny. It's a pretty funny one for sure. The Invitation. Oh, The Invitation was pretty good. I really wasn't expecting much from The Invitation, but I really enjoyed it because for one, I as someone that loved Natalie Emmanuel and all types of other things that she's been in, especially Game of Thrones. No, unfortunately, the cons do not pay for my flights, Bumper. When I'm there as media, they do give out free tickets, and sometimes you get other things included in your media access, such as sometimes you come in early, like with VIPs. Sometimes you get in for the after parties for free and other things. But the good thing about that is, even though they don't pay for it, because I am media and I am a YouTuber and I have to travel for work, those are tax write-offs whenever I have to travel for a con. So I am able to write off hotels. I am able to write off half of my meals. I am able to write off rental cars, flights. So things in regards to that, I could definitely write off. So that helps out a lot. Thankfully, I will next month when I'm doing taxes, I will be able to use all of these receipts that I have stacked up next to me. Red Snow. I haven't seen Red Snow. Oh, so she took a bat in, an injured bat, and it turns into a dashing vampire. Okay. Blood Red Sky. Oh, vampires on the plane. Wait. Oh, I have seen this one. Yeah, the mother that was the vampire. I think so. Yeah. That was actually a pretty good film. Yeah, Blood Red Sky. I was like, wait, why does that sound familiar? Vampires on a flight. But yeah, that was actually a pretty good premise. I enjoyed that. The monsters. Does that technically count? I mean, no pun intended, but I guess we'll make that a count for sure. That we'll make a count pun. But yeah, that does count then. um, Empire V. I have not seen this one. They across the world are described as bloodsuckers. Take the notion quite literally. Okay. So like Illuminati vampires, basically. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Bumper. Blood Red Sky was awesome. I really enjoyed the premise. Sometimes, all I need is just a good premise. As long as it doesn't necessarily have to be the best film, but if it's something that I could sink my teeth into as a good story, then, I can go for it. And you're right. It wasn't the best Rob Zombie work, but he tried though. What I will give it a lot of props for is something that a lot of people did not like. I loved how colorful it was. I mean, as someone that granted, yeah, the monsters were in black and white, but that was more so because of the technology of the day. I'm pretty sure that if the monsters was made today, they would have had, basically all the colors that were present for sure. But yeah, he tried. That's all I can say. I try not to give too much crap to Rob Zombie. Yeah, it was definitely a interesting watch. It may have not been the most enjoyable one for sure. Transylvania. Okay. Perfect for fans of Let the Right One In. Looking for a bite-sized version of the iconic vampire film. Okay. Transylvania follows 10-year-old Ewa, who is convinced she is a vampire. She gets bullied by a group of teenagers who find out about her beliefs. She becomes determined to prove her identity in the bloodiest way possible. That sounds like a dope film. Okay, I'll have to put that on my list for sure. Got Sunrise. Okay. Guy Pearce. Okay. When the film centers on Yan Loy and her children Edward and Emily when an injured drifter named Fallon arrives on their doorstep. Yan Loy decides to take him in and extend the hospitality her family has not received since moving to the U.S., but the family soon starts to suspect he may be a sacred forest demon known as a redcoat. Ooh, all right. Slay. I've heard of Slay, but I have not seen it. Seems like a pretty interesting premise. Oh, The Exorcist is returning to theaters for its 50th anniversary? That's old. Okay. Okay, I was just like, wait a second. I thought the 50th anniversary was. Alright, okay. That's what I was thinking. Hold up. Something about that just didn't seem right. Yeah, guys. That's pretty dope. There's a good lineup there of vampire films that I have to check out. Let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, there were some pretty good colors on that Rob Zombie The Monsters adaptation. It could have been better, but I'm not necessarily expecting the most from Rob Zombie for sure. I'm not expecting him to be one of the greatest directors, but one thing I do like about Rob Zombie is he definitely sets for a certain look for his films. That's at least something that you can count on, is there being a certain type of look. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, guys, what are you thinking? Out of the 3 films that I'm slated to choose from for next week on Christmas Eve, what do you think? Are you leaning more towards Black Christmas, Christmas Evil, or Silent Night, Deadly Night 2? What are you guys thinking? The one that I was thinking of was Christmas Evil for myself, and currently that one is in the lead. Let me check and see with where everyone's sitting. So far, the leader is Christmas Evil with 47%. Next would be Black Christmas 1974 with 32% of the vote. And coming up the rear with 21% of the vote is Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. So those are where the films pretty much lay right now. I'll probably close the voting, let's just say maybe on Monday. Yeah, I'll say maybe Monday we'll get all of that set. So you'll still have some more time to vote for those of you that will be interested. And yeah, and for those who are wondering, all of the Silent Night Deadly Nights are on Tubi except for part one. But then again, you don't necessarily need to see part one if part two's on there, considering that part two has most of part one in the films. So I'm just like, all right, well, we get part one and part two when you see part two, so why not? But let's see. His early work was fantastic, especially Devil's Rejects and House. Yeah, I really, really, I think the Devil's Rejects is going to end up being his masterpiece for sure. Um, I really enjoyed House of a Thousand Corpses when it came out. It was I loved the visuals of that one, even though the story wasn't necessarily all there. He brought it all together for the Devil's Rejects. Halloween and Halloween 2 are going to always be divisive. I mean, some people are going to like them, some people aren't going to like them. I particularly like them. I mean, they're never going to replace, the actual Halloween, but I mean, who was ever expecting that? I like that he did something different, even though it may be the most cliche of ways to portray Michael Myers outside of what John Carpenter was making of the original story. But I mean, it was valid. I would say it's probably the best remake we will ever probably get in regards to Halloween for sure. Let's see. I also enjoyed 31. I like the premise of 31. 31 was pretty cool. Lords of Salem. I like the first 25 minutes of Lords of Salem. And then it kind of gets a little bit too crazy towards the end. It was just like, okay, what is going on here? But I enjoyed the fact that it was in Salem, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And I mean, there's that. Restless says Rob Zombie stinks. I mean, I'm pretty sure more than a few people definitely share that sentiment. Restless. He's definitely one of those divisive creators in the horror genre. Pretty much like Eli Roth. It's either one of those. He's one of those people that either you love him or hate him, for sure. You're still waiting for Lance Hendrickson to come back to cons. Yeah, now that you say something about it, I haven't seen Lance at a con in a while now. Geez, I think the last con that I've seen him at may have been a year or a bit over a year since the last time that I've seen him at a con that I was at. He loves to talk about his Stone Cold movie. It's his favorite one to film. Okay, cool. So next time I see him, I'll make sure to bring that up. That's pretty cool. I saw Lance do a Q&A at TerraCon last year. That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, it was probably last year at TerraCon the last time that I saw Lance then. Yeah, Lance has been around for a while. One of my favorite memories in regards to Lance was maybe 2, 3 years ago at Texas Frightmare. He was just hanging out in the lobby with Robert Englund, just having drinks, and they just had this nice little crowd of admirers around them, people that were, enjoying drinks, but also just sitting at their feet, just listening to all the cool stories that they had. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, the fact that, they're just there, just basking in their fans and, telling them all these cool Hollywood stories. And that's something that I love. And that's one of the things that I love about going to the panels at conventions. It's just to hear these people tell these awesome stories about their time doing their craft. It's just something that I just find so interesting. He told good stories of working with Bill Paxton on Near Dark. Oh, man. Near Dark is one of my favorite vampire films. I mean, The Lost Boys got all the love, in regards to the 80s and 90s with that particular film. And Near Dark, Near Dark basically, took a while, to actually, get that fan base. It was kind of like one of those films that just really went below the radar. But you definitely, if you know, you know. Hold on one second, guys. I have to verify on my live stream that it was me. Yes, it's me, guys. That was weird. Okay, but yeah, Near Dark is definitely an awesome film for sure. I think it just has that. I think I love the whole Western feel of it. It's like this whole neo Western noir vibe with it. You know, such a very underrated movie. Bumper said, Lance had a smoke with me at Los Angeles Con after borrowing my lighter and wanted me to keep him company while he and Daniel Harris had to wait for it. Oh, Bumper, that's so awesome. And that's why I tell people, with horror cons, those are like some of the best moments. Like when you end up on an elevator with someone, or you end up, at the smoker section, and then next thing you know, one of your favorite actors or actresses is asking to bum a cigarette or to, get a light from you. And that's just something that you can't really quantify or put a price on. Like, how do you put a price on speaking with Lance Hendrickson while he's taking a smoke for, just having that good 10-minute time with him, That's just priceless to me. Like, for me, one of my favorite con experiences is forever going to be at Houston Horror Film Festival. Well, for one, I had already met Tom Atkins and got his autograph and everything, but he remembered seeing me earlier because I'm walking around with my camera and everything and getting footage. And I saw him a bit later, and he was just walking around. He was taking a bit of a break and walking around, and I saw him coming towards the door, and I opened the door for him. And I'm just like, "Hey, how's it going, Mr. Atkins? Hope you're enjoying your day." And he's just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he noticed my camera. He's like, "Hey, so what are you here for? Are you here for media? Are you just documenting it?" And we chatted for a good 10 minutes about, what I'm there for, and, why I'm doing YouTube, and, how I love going to conventions all over the country. And he seemed legitimately interested in learning more about it. So it was really cool. I gave him one of my channel stickers, and Tom Atkins was just like, "Well, would you like to, take a picture?" And I'm like, "Sure, yeah, I would love to take a selfie with you." That's really cool because I know that Tom gets asked a lot from people at conventions when he's not at the table if they could take pictures with him. And I've heard more than a few occasions he's just like, "Oh, no, 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 just meet me at the table." And which, that's what he's there for. I totally understand that. He's supposed to, charge for that. So it was cool that he asked me. He was like, "Hey, would you like to take a picture?" I'm like, "Of course." So that's a memory that I will always have with me with Tom Atkins. Um, and speaking of which, there it is right there. It was just right out there, and I had someone that I was talking to at that particular moment, and he was like, "Dude, that was so cool that Tom Atkins just took the time to just sit there and talk to you." And I'm just like, "Yeah, man, that's like the awesome thing about cons. Just having those moments with people." Um, I see. Love that guy. He is a real normal guy who really loves to get to know us. Yeah, those are the best things with meeting these celebrities. It's just knowing like how down to earth they are. Like they really are like us. And in a lot of cases, they enjoy the films just like we do. And why wouldn't they? Because for a lot of actors and actresses, that love started from watching the movies themselves, and they decided that, hey, I want to do that too. So for a lot of them, I love talking to them about what other movies they really enjoy in the genre. And I love how they're excited to meet other guests or other celebrities that are at the cons. And that's really cool because you're just like, oh, they are fans of the genre just like we are. That's how I would totally be if I somehow got involved in making horror movies. Yeah, Bumper says, would have liked to have met Bill back in the day. I have a weird science poster and aliens. I would have loved to have had him signed. Yeah, I really do miss Bill. Like, seriously, gone way too soon. And it's sad because I was really enjoying that Lethal Weapon show that he was in with Damon Wayans. That was just like really cool. And then next thing you know, like he just all of a sudden passed away. It's just like, man, I really miss that guy. Like you said, I mean, weird science, aliens, the list goes on and on with him. Like, seriously. I met Tom last year and I made him laugh pretty hard after seeing him. He was a good old man. Like, seriously. Like, That Tom Atkins is awesome, and it's and he's totally the quintessential silver fox because there are women that are literally 30, 40 years younger than him that are like gushing over him. I'm just like, hey man, live your life. I love it. If we could all be as lucky to have a head full of hair and have these younger girls fantasizing over the sex machine that is Tom Atkins. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love seeing the older gentlemen that are still have plenty of life in them, like Tom Atkins and another one, Tom Holland. Tom Holland was so awesome at Scarefest, like just knowing, and he, like I said, like just like Tom Atkins, a little hard of hearing, but if you speak up a bit louder, that man will answer your questions and with such sense of humor, and I just can't get enough. Like he was pretty cool. Yeah, man, it's such a you're right, O wrestler. It's such a dumb way to die too. Yeah, those malpractice is a real thing, like serious. It's very unfortunate. Like it really could have been avoided, but it's the way of the world nowadays. Sometimes, guys, for sure. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely really cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed Scarefest last month because it really had over a close to, if it wasn't at 100, it was very close to 100 guests. And then a lot of the guests decided that they were going to hang out at the Hilton that was right across the street. So it was very cool to, be at the bar and see Felissa Rose, Dave Sheridan, Tom Holland, Christine Elise. Literally, the list goes on and on in regards to the people that were there hanging out with us. And, I'm just like, hey, I'm having a cheers with Christine Elise. We're, having a drink in regards to a successful convention weekend. And so that's really cool to be able to meet people and just like, wow, they're really super cool like us. I saw the cast of Pet Cemetery go across the street to the steakhouse to go have dinner. It was a few people from Pet Cemetery and a couple of the cast members from Children of the Corn. So it was just like, hey, it doesn't get much better than that. It was a fun time. So Bumper says he made a movie called The Devil all the time, and he was amazing in it. Not a horror movie, though it's based on a book. Okay, cool. I have to check that out. Yeah, Tom Holland is awesome. Like, it was so cool to hear him talk about just Fright Night and Child's Play. That man still has a lot of life left in him for sure, and that's how I plan to be. If I am lucky enough to become an older gentleman, I would love to be that guy that people could say, "Oh man, I remember when he was doing YouTube when he was like in his late 30s, and I've been following him since then. And he's gone on to do this and that." And I could just talk about, "Hey, I remember the time I was on YouTube and I did this and da 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 da. Oh, tell me about the time that you met Felissa Rose and you did this." That's very cool, guys. I would love that. You probably tower him because you're 6'7". Yeah, I would say that you would, Bumper, for sure. You would have to be over there towards like James Q, Courtney, and Tyler Maine with the super tall guys. That's how I felt with standing next to Joe Bob. That's a pretty tall cowboy there. Like he literally like it is. I look so short in my picture that I took next to Joe Bob and Darcy because, of course, Joe Bob is like 6'6", 6'7", and Darcy was wearing like 6-inch heels. So, and I'm right at about 6 feet, so I look like a munchkin next to them. Hey, Bumper, man, I really appreciate that. Like seriously, to be mentioned in the same sentence as Grim Life, I mean, I don't deserve that, but for you to say that means a lot to me. That means that I'm definitely doing something right, and I'm going to continue to try to get better and definitely do more that you guys would enjoy on this channel because I really enjoy being in the horror scene, being with other people that really enjoy horror because I'm pretty sure for a lot of you, it's like the same with me that we all have our friends that, know we have that love of horror, but they don't necessarily get why we're so ecstatic about it, why we're so enthusiastic about it, why we go so all out in regards to Halloween and things of that nature. So I really, really appreciate being able to have you guys to chat with, and the fact that you guys enjoy my content enough to continue to watch and stick around. So it means everything to me. Seriously, like you guys really don't know how much that really means to me. That what your support is for me. Sure you do. You do a great job at cons, I think. Hey, I really appreciate that though. Seriously. Like, and that's why I continue to do this because I think that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get into it because I would watch YouTube and watch people do convention videos, and they looked like so much fun. And that's how I got a list of cons around the country that I wanted to go to because I would hear about this convention at this part of the country, and I would just search the name on YouTube to see what YouTubers were there and what was going on at the particular cons, what guests were there, what was the layout. And I'm just like, wow, this seems like a lot of fun. I would love to do something similar myself and just put my own little spin on it. And, lo and behold, I'm literally working on the third year now. This is basically what's happening. So, guys, I mean, working on this third year, I'm looking towards doing bigger and better things. I have a lot of things that I have planned for this channel. So I hope you guys definitely stick around for sure. Bumper says, none of my friends like horror, so that's why I'm always talking with fellow horror fans. I get that, man. You definitely have to hang out with those that definitely enjoy horror as much as you, because we enjoy that talking horror. And I'm the type of person that I respect opinions, even if they're different from what I have in regards to, certain movies and such, because those different perspectives really help out a lot, with seeing things that you may not have saw in regards to a film that you may have possibly have been too distracted by certain things to actually really take in. So I really appreciate those. And the fact that we can agree to disagree with things. Generally, that's how most horror fans are. There's only really that small percentage that kind of get really butthurt and really expect everyone to think the exact way that they are or that they feel. So I'm glad that it's the horror fandom isn't as toxic as other fandoms for sure. Yeah, Sean Clark has great ones too. I love Sean. I've had the pleasure of meeting Sean at a few different conventions, and he's awesome. Every time I see him, he'll give me brand new stickers that he has for the channel and such. And that reminds me, I probably need to come up with some more stickers myself for the channel, a different kind. But I want to think of like some good merch to pass off to some of my subscribers and the travelers. I want to maybe think of like some shirts or something, maybe some hats, something to the effect to bring to those of you that really support the channel, because I think that would be cool to have some sort of cool the horror Greenbook type merch. So be on the lookout for that in 2025 for sure, guys. You see, where is one con that you see the most amazing vendors? Ooh. All right. Let's see. As far as great vendors, you can always count on great vendors at Texas Frightmare. You can always count on great vendors at Horror Hound. Creep Icon has some really, really good vendors. I would say those are some really, really great cuts for vendors. Like if you're looking for stuff that isn't available just everywhere, I would say those three will probably be my top three in regards to cuts of which you can find a vast amount of stuff. Scarefest also had a good amount of vendors, I would say as well. So yeah. In regards to artists, um, definitely Texas Frightmare has a lot of artists, tons of artists. Um, that's the one that really stands out because every time I go there, there are a lot of artists that really, really stand out there. The last convention that I went to, the Tulsa HorrorCon, they had a lot of good artists there too, for sure. If you're looking for really unique artwork, uh, I would say those. But that's the great thing about horror conventions in general is that you do find a lot of good artists for sure that put their own unique spins on artwork. I'm gonna have to keep it a little bit low because I actually did buy some brand new artwork for my son. So that will be some Christmas stuff for him. He was looking for some stuff to hang up on his wall, so I'm like, all right, I got you this really really cool, um, The Shining inspired art piece. So by one of the artists that was there. Actually, I have her card here. Um, it was a pop art related company. So this is her card right there. There's like pop art, and let me give you her information right there, guys. So anything creative studio. So make sure to pause and click the QR codes right there to get more information in regards to her artwork. Great, great artist for sure. Yeah, Bumper. Tulsa was pretty big, but it was brought to you by the people that did the Oklahoma City HorrorCon. So they had a little bit of an ingrained base of people, not too far away, and probably most likely people from Tulsa who were already familiar with the OKC HorrorCon. So it was very good. I'm looking forward to the next one. I think they're planning on doing the next Tulsa one somewhere maybe around October, but they couldn't miss out on throwing one during Friday the 13th. So I'm happy that they were able to do that. Let me go ahead. Focus. There we go. Try to get this focus back. There, it's a little blurry. But yeah, so Bumper says in 6 years I'll be retiring in Virginia, so then I'll be able to see more cons on that side of the stage. Yeah, definitely. And when you definitely get back to everything, definitely, you know, make sure to let me know any particular cons that you're going to be at. I want to make sure to, try to meet up with as many of you as possible at any con. So I think I will make a post eventually on my community tab to ask what particular cons are near my subscribers or horror cons that are near y'all, so that I could try to actually come out and try to correspond and meet up during those times for sure. What's up, Joseph the horror guy? How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Glad that you're able to make it in, man. We're just doing a little hangout. We haven't watched any movies or anything today. It was more so just talking horror and just chilling. So glad to see you, buddy. See, Bumper say, I hope there. Heard there's a huge Friday the 13th con just for. Whoa, really? Hold up, buddy. That's news to me. I have not heard that. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that. Mainly because I have my Crystal Lake Memories book, and I try to get as many Friday the 13th alumni to sign that. So I would definitely enjoy that. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that. When did he tell you any information about when that may possibly be happening, Bumper? What's up, Joseph? He said, I definitely will keep on doing YouTube. Yes, sir. There's no reason to delete it. Yeah, you just got to keep going at it, buddy. You know how I tell you every time. Just got to keep filming. In Pasadena, where Monsterpalooza is held. Okay, cool. I'll be on the lookout for that. That's cool. I would definitely enjoy a Friday the 13th con. That's cool. It's kind of like with what's the con with with the Halloween ones that they do every 5 years. I'm definitely making it to Halloween 50. Anyone in the chat, are you planning on going to Halloween 50 in a couple of years? I'm definitely saving my money up, and thankfully I've made some good connections over the past year well, the past couple of years. And I think me and a couple of buddies are going to probably go in on like an Airbnb or a hotel suite or something because it's a pretty penny. It's definitely a pretty penny to make it to Pasadena. I think for Halloween 45, there's like a Coldplay concert at time in town about the same time. So hotel prices skyrocketed. So hopefully there will be no other things going on about that time that will interfere with it. And hopefully Jamie Lee Curtis does not win another Oscar around that time. There's a site for it, but I forgot the date. I do believe it's this year near October. It's an anniversary thing. Okay, cool. I'll be on the lookout for that then, Bumper. Joseph the Horror Guy says, I definitely want to keep my subscribers in my videos. Yeah, definitely. You have to, for sure. You got to keep posting, buddy. Just keep hitting publish. Let's see. Yeah, Bumper. The hotels are really outrageous there, for sure. It's very interesting because for me, I've only really been to California that one time for Creep Icon, so I'm really looking forward to going again at the end of next month to check it out. I actually really want to do way more sightseeing for real. I definitely want to do some more sightseeing. Hopefully, get some filming locations that I've always wanted to get underway and get those set up. And there's a couple of other things I want to do there, Southern California related. So needless to say, I plan on going to Creep Icon and coming back again for Monster Palooza. Yeah, Monster Palooza and Son of Monster Palooza. They seem like a dope time for real. Like California horror conventions seem to have some really cool vendors as well, and I really enjoy that. Like I love seeing vendors from like all over, you know, and the cool unique things that they bring. Yeah, Joseph, seriously, man, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Seriously, hopefully one of these days we'll be meeting soon enough. Cause I love meeting you guys. Like seriously, you guys have no idea how excited I am to hang out with you all and you know talk about our favorite films. Talk about you know some of the new stuff that's coming out that you're excited about. Some of our old favorites. Like seriously, what I want to do one of these days. Like seriously, I want to plan like maybe I meet up at a convention one of these days. Like a cool little after party get together where we're just like hanging out, having some drinks, maybe watching some movies and just vibing. Like seriously, I think that would be really fun. Like at a convention that most of us could probably get together. Yeah. Okay, so Son of Palooza is a lot smaller but still great, and Monster Palooza is the big one. Okay, cool, perfect. Another one that I want to go to out that way is Midsummer Scream. Midsummer Scream is huge on my list. I love hunt related stuff. So I want to go to that one. I want to go to Transworld. Transworld is definitely on my list of cons to go to. So I'm really excited to do those. So thanks for letting me know in regards to which one is the bigger event and which one's the smaller one, Bumper. That is really good information, and I really appreciate all of you all with your information because that really helps me out with figuring out my plans in regards to which cons I want to do and which ones I want to continue to attend and try out for the next years and such. See, Joseph says, what is your favorite song do you listen to? Favorite song? That's a very interesting question. Let me see. Favorite song? I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite song. Well, you know what? I think I do actually have a favorite song. My favorite song is probably Kanye West's Can't Tell Me Nothing. That's probably a song that puts me into the state of where I first heard it. So it's probably my absolute favorite song. It's probably the one song that whenever I hear it, it just never gets old. Let's see. Bumper says, yeah, Michael from Grim Life was telling me Transworld Con is amazing because of animatronics they show every year. Yeah, yeah. I hear the same in regards to Transworld and Midsummer Scream, that they are very top notch hunt related cons. Also, I love the fact that they have like interactive hunts that you can walk through at the actual cons. So that's very cool to take advantage of, getting scared a little bit at the convention and see, get really hype in regards to some new cons for sure. Well, not cons, but haunted houses and haunted houses from around the country. And I think that's really cool too. That's one of the things that I really want to try to take advantage of for the next year as well. I really want to do more stuff for hunt season. So I really need to get on to reaching out to different haunted houses and let them know that, hey, I kind of want to, come check out the hunt and see if I can do a walkthrough, even if it's like a daytime walkthrough. I think those were pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, I know who Brian Adams is. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. And also The Fray. Yeah, I've heard of them too. Yeah, the Distortions Unlimited guys. Oh, Distortions Unlimited is so cool. Like seriously. I've seen them I've seen them a couple of times at a few different cons. I think I've seen them at Texas Hunters. They were awesome. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they may have shown up to CreepyCon in Knoxville. Yeah, so they're awesome. I'll always support them. Do I know who Drake is? No, I've never heard of Drake. Never. Is he a new artist? No, but yeah. Funny enough, a funny thing about Drake is, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, so that's actually the same city that his dad is from. So, yeah, I heard of Drake a little bit before most people did. Unless you're Canadian, I probably heard of Drake a good amount before some people for sure. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think I'm gonna call it a night tonight. It was so much fun hanging out with you guys. I really wasn't expecting to hang out this long, but it's definitely been a treat to hang out with you guys and talk some horror. Um, I will definitely be coming back again on Monday. We're going to watch Victor Crowley on the live watch party, and we're still having our vote for our Christmas Eve watch party. Again, the three selections are Black Christmas, Christmas Evil, and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. So be sure to go in there and get your votes casted. I will likely close voting on Saturday. I may let it go on till Sunday, but I will make the announcement either on Saturday or Sunday which one will be our Christmas Eve watch party. And then on Christmas, we will most likely watch Inside, which is my favorite Christmas horror film. We'll probably do that in the afternoon, so probably in the middle of the afternoon. So if you guys aren't doing anything, if you're a bit tired of your family, or if you're not hanging out with any family, if you want to get some scary Christmas shenanigans going on, feel free to go ahead and hang out with me there on either Christmas Eve or Christmas. You'll have both opportunities to do it. So it looks like there will be 3 live streams next week. I plan on doing more live streams as the upcoming weeks and months come along. So I want to, just have more times to, hang out with y'all. But Bumper, thank you so much, buddy. Thanks so much for, coming through and hanging out with me. Hopefully I'll be seeing you for one of the upcoming watch parties soon. And yeah, Joseph, that's one of the great things about the Hatchet series. We got Danielle Harris in 3 of the 4 films for sure. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you all for the upcoming live watch parties. There may be a time that I may go and do another live stream in between then. Just depends on how bored I am this upcoming weekend. May do something and want to hang out with you guys. But again, thank you so much for your support, y'all. I'll be seeing you all sometime here very soon. Make sure to smash that like button one more time if you haven't. Comment in regards to anything you saw. And lastly, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And you would want to hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I go live or I'll upload something very, very cool on the Horror Greenbook. Well, guys, I am your travel guide, Brendan, signing you off with the Horror Greenbook and letting you know that it is scary in those streets. So let me know that you made it home safely.